I'm going to show you what I want you folks to do. Now, I do have a video that's available through the store, and it's the volume 1. It shows, yeah, that's it, and it has like 4 different projects. 2 of the projects involve baskets, which is going to be the traditional basket, the cylinder basket, and then a little buggy whip, like a lightning bolt, and then a little fish. Those are some of like the basics of weaving. But if you look at the video, it kind of provides you information about doing a crownless coconut hattery. It's just a little bit of modification, but you have all the tools there to make a crownless coconut hat. The only thing you need to do now is kind of trim the leaves. Yeah. Okay. So this is what needs to be done. And we're going to be making a mess, but that's okay. We'll clean up later. Okay. Okay. Are we all in agreement? We'll all clean up later.
Messes are good.
So what needs to be done is that we need to put this into a circle. Okay? And this is very stiff. So the leaf, you gotta put it behind you. If you do it like this, you make an incision over here and you run it through, you go right into the leaves.
I'm sorry, do you mind if I take photos?
Just make sure you get my good side.
Okay, I do.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for asking. Okay, so what happens is that the leaves gotta be behind us. Yeah, you can move your chairs. Of course,
Yeah,
you
please
feel more comfortable.
know that. Just make sure it works for you, Uncle. It's nothing but helpful. So just jump in.
And so what we'll probably do
you.
is when we start actually weaving and cutting, we're gonna separate the both again. Okay? So what needs to be done, the leaves, first of all, gotta be behind you. And so we'll trim the leaves and then we decide the size of the leaf. The thing about making a coconut hat is that it's not adjustable. You gotta get the person in front of you in order to measure it, and then you put it on, and then it should fit. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, what we're gonna do, we're gonna trim this puppy. So what needs to be done is we bring it down to this point right over here. See, so I make an incision. You know, when I first started these classes 30 years ago, what I did, I brought knives for everybody to kind of trim it. What a mistake. The first class lasted 3 hours, and the first 1 hour alone was guiding the people to make this, to trim this off. It appears like, oh, it doesn't look too difficult, but you know, you have to agree that I have a number of years on my belt, you know? So, what you gotta do is, what's important is you gotta make a nice slicing motion. Don't just push, you gotta make a slicing motion. A gentle slicing motion, and then I'm bringing it to this point on both sides, yeah? From this point to this point over here. And after I do that, then I flatten it out. Like this. So this flattening process is so much easier, but once again, you gotta use a slight slicing motion. Don't push straight in because it'll be a little bit more difficult. So slice it, and then it comes out pretty decent. Okay, so now at the end, instead of you slicing this part over here, I just like to put my finger here and then push back, and then it'll be okay. So now what I gotta do now is massage the leaf before I put it into a circle. Because if I don't massage it, it'll kink. Like that. And then now, I think this is gonna be way big, but let's see. So, this is probably the right size for me. As long as you can get the midrib over your head. Okay. I just got it. So see, I'm opening it up now.
So cute.
Okay, so now it's just like this, but you need to make adjustments. And then now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut off the excess. Okay, so now I'm going to the final, because So what happens is that as long as you know that this can go into your head and just a little bit of movement is perfect, because in the process of weaving, what we will do after we do the brim of the hat, we'll tuck everything in and then we do the crown. When we do the crown, all the leaves kind of take up space on the inside and then it'll fit perfect. Okay? So now we got it over here. Okay, just a little bit. Yep. Not too big, not too small, but just right. So then I trim the top and the bottom. So what I'm actually doing, I'm notching it. And you know, for beginning students, I tell them this is what I'm for you. I have this over here. Oh, let's see. You know what this is? Tire tube rubber. Yeah, tire tube rubber. It's so good because when I do this, and then I pull, and then I tighten, what happens is that the elasticity bonds it so much better. Now, a lot of times the beginners, when they tie it, and then it does come out in the process of you weaving, guess what you got to do? Take it out and retie it, yeah? So, that's why I like to use it. Well, this is just for practice, so it's kind of a good thing that we use this. If I make hats and you know, people request to buy it and stuff, and then I use like you know what this is? How, or I use a banana fiber or raffia. Those are really good tying tools, but this how is really amazing. Yeah. Okay. So now we got it to this point, and we're about ready to weave. Now, if you look at the video, what the video will tell you that if you're going to weave a basket, you make the midrib facing up. So this is the midrib. This is your typical coconut leaf, yeah? If I was to remove this leaf over here, so this yellow portion is called the midrib, or the spine. This is considered to be the great rib. This is where it connects itself to the tree. So if I was to remove this rib over here, the midrib, you see how this is very limp, and you can barely weave with this, yeah. You know, with the coconut leaf, just with this alone, you could weave a basket about, you know, a small little cup-like basket about this big, or if you're knowledgeable enough, you can make a basket this big by using the whole length of the coconut leaf, because this midrib is really strong, yeah. Once you tie it at the bottom, it will. They use it to even hold babies and even green coconut. And the green coconut is very heavy, yeah? But if you do it properly, you'll be able to do it. Okay. So now, in the video, when I instructed you to do a basket, the basket needs to come up this way. So the midrib has to be facing up. And then you start weaving. But when you do a coconut hat, especially the crownless, you want the brim to come down. You don't want it to come up. You can shape it up to come up this a little bit, but the natural tendency of the leaf is to come down like this. So you're going to turn it upside down, because what we want to do to make the brim come down this way, we need to put the spine facing down. Okay? And then, as in the other video, what it tells you is to go under, over, under, because what we're trying to do is make the walls come up this way. When you do a hat, it's kind of in reverse. What you're trying to do is make the brim come down like this. So, in order to get it to go down, you go over. Okay? So now, what we're doing, we're going over, under, and into the right hand. So, if you were to do a regular basket, this would be a right hand weave, right? Because you want the bowl to come this way. But if we flip it over, this becomes a left hand weave, but the brim comes down this way. But once you start on a pattern, you just continue throughout. So what we're doing, we're going over, under, over, and into our right hand there. Okay? So now we count again. And you're involving only 4 leaves when you do the brim of the hat. It's really simple. But if you have leaves that are really long, then you're able to do, like instead of involving 4, you involve 6. And if I would have involved 6, I would go under, over, under, over, under, and then over like this. So now it becomes 6 leaves, and then the brim comes out a little bit bigger. But you know, just for learning purposes, it's best that you just go and make it so that you're involving 4 leaves. Okay? So now, this is number 1. Naturally, you start on the left side because the left hand is the dominant reading hand. I'm going over, under, over, and into my right hand. Okay? And this is how hand placement is very important. Okay? What we want to do is with all the midribs that'll be on the outside, and your first fold is down. Yeah? I mean, like you're going over, under, over, into my right hand there. What you're trying to do is this, when he goes over that 4th leaf, you push it towards you. Okay? And then you continue. Over, under, over, into your right hand. Once you start on a pattern, you just continue throughout. So, what are we doing? We're involving 4 leaves, and it's over, under, over, into my right hand. Over, under, over, into my right hand. The right hand plays a very important role in making the hat because it stops the leaves from getting confused. See, so this is the pattern right here. Yeah, you're going over, under, over, into my right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, over 2, under 3, over 4, into my right hand. So once you start on a pattern, you just continue throughout. And of course, you'll be fumbling along the way, but you know, that's how it is. That's how it is when you learn. Okay, now the first one was loose. You see how loose this was over here? Because it allows me, now I can get back into my read. If this were tight, like if I started off and it was tight like this, I wouldn't be able to get through, yeah? So, don't forget to open it up over here, and then the process is you're going out, and then you're moving back in, and then it lodges right at the 4th leaf on the inside between the great rib and the leaf. Yeah, that's very important. Okay, so we count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All we're doing is involving 4 leaves over number 4. Now, this is when the process changes a little bit. What I want you to do is all the leaves in your right hand, what you've got to do is put it between your knees, put your knees together, it frees up your right hand. So now you get 2 hands available for working, yeah? So I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I use 2 hands, under, over 2, under 3, but for fear that I might crack this rib, I don't push it up like this. What I do, I grab the tip. Since the tip is flexible, I start with the tip. Under, number 3, over number 4. You see how I put my thing down like this? I put my finger behind it, I poke it down like this. There, into my knee. This is my last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? So I go over number 2, and then I get the tip, and I poke it down into here. Under number 4, you see how I put my finger behind the leaf, and I poke it up where it's supposed to go? That makes it so much easier. 4, over, under number 3, over number 4. There. This is complete. The thing about weaving with the coconut, what you do, you place the leaves where it's supposed to go, and then you tighten when you're done. When you're weaving with lapala, you're supposed to tighten it as you go along because, you know, it'd be kind of impossible if you started weave over here and then you try to tighten this area here, yeah? That's impossible. But coconut, you can. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to tighten it over here. Tighten it like this. I tighten it a little at a time. There. And so now I've created the brim. And the one thing good about weaving a coconut hat as opposed to a lauhala is like about, possibly about 39 hours and a half difference. it'll probably take me just about half an hour to do a coconut hat.
Alright.
Whereas, living on Lauhalen, about
Ladies, you
40
hear
hours.
that?
Yeah. Well,
Takes about 40 hours.
at least I would say,
Yeah.
gathering the leaves, cleaning up,
Okay, I
separating,
get that.
stripping. Oh my God, there's so much involved. Okay, so now we're at this point here, right? Okay, so you know what? Why don't we go ahead and I'll provide you with leaves, and then you go ahead and start trimming the leaves, and then I'll then weave it to this point, and then we will continue. Is that okay? Now, does anybody have questions? Good, I like when people have These are so much easier. Okay.
So this is the part where you spread out.
Yeah, this is
And
the part
put
that
all
you
your
spread
ukana
out.
over there so you're not distracted by your stuff. And keep watered, and there's a little bit of meal on the over here, but
It's a really tight-
spread out, give you some space.